Patience is a virtue that many of us struggle to fully grasp, especially in a world that moves faster than ever before. We live in an age where instant gratification is just a click away and waiting can feel like an eternity. But let me share with you today the key to mastering the art of patience, not just as a passive act of waiting, but as an active, intentional practice. First, embrace delays as opportunities. I want you to think of every setback or delay in your life as a moment for growth. You see, we tend to see delays as interruptions to our plans, but what if we viewed them as invitations to slow down and learn something new? Each delay is a chance for us to pause, reassess, and realign ourselves with our true purpose. When you embrace delays, you stop seeing them as obstacles and start recognizing them as opportunities for personal growth. Second, practice mindfulness. This is one of the most powerful tools we have to cultivate patience. When we stay present in the moment, whether we are waiting for an important email or simply waiting in line, we reduce anxiety and make space for peace. Mindfulness reminds us that patience doesn't mean doing nothing, it means being fully aware of and engaged in the present moment. It is in the quiet moments of waiting that we often find clarity and insight. Third, focus on your personal growth. While you wait for your dreams to materialize or for your next big break, use the time to focus on what you can control yourself. Use it to learn, grow, and improve. There is always something new to discover within yourself, and the waiting period can be the perfect time to hone your skills or reflect on your journey. Patience is built when you commit to personal growth, even when it feels like the world is moving around you. Fourth, trust the timing of life. Life has a rhythm to it. And while we may not always understand why things happen when they do, there is a deeper order that is unfolding. Trusting the timing of life means releasing the need to control everything and allowing things to unfold naturally. When you trust in the timing of life, patience becomes much easier to cultivate because you believe that everything will come to you at the right time. And finally, never forget that patience is not passive. It is an active practice, a muscle you strengthen every day. By applying these rules in your life, embracing delays, practicing mindfulness, focusing on personal growth, and trusting the timing of life, you will find that patience becomes less about waiting and more about understanding. You'll realize that patience is about how you carry yourself through the process and not just about the destination. So I encourage you to be kind to yourself as you walk this journey of life. Mastering patience isn't something that happens overnight, but with intention, growth, and trust, you will develop this invaluable skill. Patience is often misunderstood as simply the ability to wait for something to happen. However, it goes much deeper than that. It's not just about enduring the passage of time without complaint, but about how we choose to respond during those waiting periods. The way we react in times of delay speaks volumes about our emotional maturity, our resilience, and our ability to see life from a larger perspective. When we embrace delays, we are presented with a powerful opportunity to shift our mindset to see life's pauses as more than mere interruptions, but rather as important moments for growth and self-discovery. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to become frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we want them to. We want instant results, immediate feedback, and quick gratification. However, the truth is that the most meaningful and lasting successes often take time. The waiting period can feel like a space of uncertainty, but if we choose to look at it differently, we can begin to see it as a precious opportunity. Delays are not something to fear or resist. They are a natural part of life that gives us the time and space we need to grow, adjust, and refine our purpose. When we experience delays in our lives, whether it's waiting for a job opportunity, a relationship to flourish, or a goal to manifest, we can often feel like we are stuck or falling behind. We may compare ourselves to others who seem to be moving forward with ease, leading us to feel as though time is slipping away from us. But in reality, the delays we face are often the universe's way of giving us exactly what we need at that moment. Instead of viewing these moments as wasted time, we should begin to see them as an invitation to pause and reflect. In these moments, we can realign ourselves with our true desires, revisit our goals, or deepen our understanding of what truly matters. What if we could shift our perspective to view delays as opportunities for growth and learning? Each moment we spend in waiting is an opportunity to reassess, refine, and prepare for the future. For example, when you're waiting for something to manifest, whether it's a personal goal, a professional achievement, or even something as simple as a response to an email, you have the power to decide what you do with that time. Instead of letting impatience or frustration take hold, you can use that time to reflect on your progress so far, identify areas where you can improve, and perhaps even discover new paths you hadn't considered before. This mindset shift requires a willingness to embrace discomfort and uncertainty. Most people view waiting as an uncomfortable place to be, but in reality, it is only when we are in these uncertain, sometimes uncomfortable spaces that we have the chance to grow. Think of a seed that is planted in the soil. It has to endure the darkness and stillness of the earth before it can break through to the surface and grow into something beautiful. Similarly, when we experience delays, we are often in a place of internal growth, refining our character, resilience, and understanding of ourselves. Moreover, delays offer us the chance to deepen our patience. It's easy to be patient when things are moving smoothly, but true patience is revealed in the midst of life's pauses. Patience then becomes not just the ability to wait, but the ability to respond thoughtfully and calmly, regardless of the circumstances. This is what makes patience such a powerful practice. It allows us to remain grounded and centered when external events may be challenging our sense of peace. Finally, when we embrace delays as opportunities, we free ourselves from the pressure of constantly having to be in motion or producing results. We can give ourselves permission to rest, to reflect, and to grow in our own time. By releasing the need to force things to happen, we allow life to unfold naturally, trusting that everything happens when it is meant to, and that every delay is a part of the process that ultimately leads us to where we need to be. In this way, delays transform from obstacles into powerful tools for personal transformation. They remind us that the journey is just as important, if not more so, than the destination. Mindfulness is one of the most effective practices we can cultivate in our daily lives, especially when it comes to mastering the art of patience. In a world that constantly demands our attention, and where distractions are at an all-time high, practicing mindfulness can help us slow down, be present, and manage impatience with grace. It's not about waiting in a passive, disengaged way. It's about fully experiencing the present moment, regardless of whether we're waiting for something to happen or navigating a challenging situation. When we talk about mindfulness, we're referring to the practice of being fully present in the moment, without judgment. It's the ability to observe our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without becoming consumed by them. This practice is particularly powerful when we're faced with situations that test our patience, such as waiting in a long line, dealing with delays, or experiencing a setback in our personal or professional lives. Mindfulness teaches us that the key to patience lies not in the length of time we wait, but in how we choose to engage with that time. One of the most common sources of impatience comes from our minds being scattered in multiple directions. We often find ourselves thinking about the past, worrying about the future, or mentally preparing for what's next, all of which take us out of the present moment. This leads to feelings of frustration, anxiety, and a sense of time slipping away. Mindfulness helps us to break free from this mental clutter by focusing our attention on what's right in front of us. When we practice being fully present, we naturally let go of distractions and bring our awareness to the current moment. It's like taking a step back and choosing to experience life as it unfolds, rather than rushing ahead to the next task or outcome. When we're mindful, we stop worrying about what's going to happen next and allow ourselves to fully experience what's happening now. Whether it's the simple act of breathing, the sound of nature, or the texture of an object in our hands, mindfulness encourages us to notice the small details of life that we might otherwise overlook. This shift in focus can completely change the way we experience time. What might have felt like a frustrating wait or an endless delay now becomes a moment to breathe, reflect, and be fully present. We stop feeling anxious about what's coming next and instead allow ourselves to experience the beauty and richness of the present moment. Another powerful aspect of mindfulness is its ability to help us manage our emotional responses. When we're impatient, our emotions often take over, leading to frustration, irritation, or even anger. Mindfulness gives us the space to observe these emotions without reacting to them. Instead of being swept away by impatience, we learn to pause, breathe, and acknowledge our feelings without letting them control us. This emotional awareness allows us to remain grounded and calm, no matter how long we have to wait or what setbacks we encounter. By staying present with our feelings, we can avoid spiraling into negativity or stress, and instead choose how we want to respond. Moreover, mindfulness allows us to reframe our perspective on waiting. When we are mindful, we no longer see waiting as a waste of time or an inconvenience. We begin to view it as an opportunity to engage with ourselves and the world around us. For example, instead of feeling frustrated in a long line, mindfulness allows us to focus on the present moment, perhaps noticing the people around us, the sounds in the environment, or even reflecting on our thoughts and feelings. This small shift in focus can turn a seemingly mundane experience into a chance for personal reflection or mindfulness practice. The time that once felt like a waste is now an opportunity for growth, self-awareness, and connection. One of the most profound benefits of practicing mindfulness is the deep sense of inner peace it brings. When we are constantly rushing or waiting impatiently for things to happen, we create unnecessary stress within ourselves. Mindfulness helps us to release this internal tension by teaching us to let go of the need to control every situation. We begin to trust that everything will unfold in its own time, and we stop fighting against the natural rhythm of life. This inner peace allows us to navigate life's challenges with patience, knowing that we don't have to force anything to happen or rush through the process. Ultimately, mindfulness is about choosing how we engage with the present moment. It's about being aware, accepting what is, and finding peace in the here and now. When we practice mindfulness, we no longer allow impatience to dictate our actions. Instead, we take charge of our response to life's delays, setbacks, and challenges. By staying present, calm, and focused, we master the art of patience, not as a passive act of waiting, but as an active and intentional practice of being fully present and at peace in every moment. When we think about patience, we often imagine simply waiting for something to happen or holding back our impulses. However, one of the most profound ways to cultivate patience is by focusing on personal growth during the waiting periods. This shift in mindset, viewing waiting as a time for self-improvement rather than stagnation, can transform how we experience those moments of delay. Instead of feeling stuck or frustrated, we can see these times as opportunities to become better versions of ourselves, expanding our knowledge, refining our skills, and deepening our understanding of who we are. Waiting doesn't have to be a passive experience. It doesn't have to feel like time is slipping away. In fact, when we use the waiting periods to grow and improve, we gain valuable momentum that can propel us forward when the time is right. Personal growth during these moments isn't about rushing the process or trying to force progress. It's about trusting that our development is happening even when we can't immediately see it. It's about focusing on what we can control: our actions, our mindset, and our efforts while we wait for the external circumstances to align. One of the most powerful ways to focus on personal growth during periods of waiting is by learning new skills or deepening existing ones. If you find yourself in a situation where progress seems slow or your goals are taking longer to manifest, this is an excellent time to invest in your personal development. Take a course, read books that inspire you, or engage in activities that stretch your abilities. Learning something new, whether it's a new language, a creative skill, or a professional qualification, can make the waiting period feel purposeful. It shifts the focus from what you don't have yet to what you are actively building within yourself. Growth also happens when we take the time to reflect on our past experiences. The waiting periods provide us with the space to evaluate our journey so far, what's working, what isn't, and what changes we can make. This kind of self-reflection allows us to identify areas for improvement and become more intentional about how we approach our goals. During these pauses, we can ask ourselves questions like, what have I learned from the challenges I've faced so far? Or how can I approach this situation differently moving forward? These reflections not only help us refine our strategies, but also strengthen our resolve to keep going, even when the progress seems slow. Additionally, during times of waiting, we can focus on strengthening our emotional resilience. The ability to remain patient during setbacks and delays is a reflection of our inner strength. Emotional growth doesn't happen overnight, and learning to respond with patience to life's challenges is a process that requires practice. You may not be able to control when things happen, but you can control how you react. This is where emotional resilience becomes an essential part of personal growth. By practicing self-compassion, accepting the uncertainty of life, and learning to stay calm during difficult moments, you not only improve your patience, but also develop the strength to handle whatever comes your way with grace and confidence. Another key aspect of personal growth during waiting is nurturing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities, intelligence, and potential are not fixed, but can be developed over time through effort and learning. This mindset encourages us to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable obstacles. When we adopt a growth mindset, waiting periods become fertile ground for cultivating new skills, refining our abilities, and strengthening our character. Instead of feeling defeated by delays, we embrace them as chances to evolve, knowing that each day of effort brings us one step closer to our ultimate goals. Furthermore, personal growth during times of waiting involves cultivating patience with ourselves. We often place high expectations on ourselves, and when things don't happen as quickly as we would like, we may feel disappointed or frustrated. However, true personal growth comes from giving ourselves the grace to evolve at our own pace. Recognizing that growth isn't always linear and that there will be setbacks along the way is essential for maintaining a positive outlook during waiting periods. By being patient with ourselves, we allow the space for organic growth to unfold, trusting that we are always becoming better, whether it's the outcome of a decision, the achievement of a goal, or the arrival of a life-changing opportunity. Remember that growth is happening within you.
Use this time to invest in yourself, refine your skills, and strengthen your emotional resilience. The time you spend waiting is never wasted. It's an essential part of the process that contributes to who you are becoming.
Through patience and personal growth, you'll emerge stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the success that is waiting for you. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate patience is by learning to accept that certain things are beyond our control. In life, we often encounter situations where we are at the mercy of external factors, whether it's other people's actions, timing, or circumstance outside our influence. Trying to control these external forces can be exhausting, frustrating, and ultimately futile. True patience, however, is grounded in the ability to accept that some things simply cannot be hurried or manipulated to fit our desired timeline. The sooner we embrace this reality, the easier it becomes to navigate the inevitable delays and setbacks life throws our way. The desire for control is natural. We all want to shape our destinies, make things happen on our terms, and ensure that our plans unfold as we envision them. However, life is unpredictable. No matter how much effort we put into controlling situations, there are always elements that lie outside of our influence. When we try to force outcomes or manipulate situations, we often create more stress and frustration for ourselves. The more we resist what is happening, the more we push against the natural flow of events. This resistance is where impatience grows. Patience, on the other hand, requires us to let go of the need to control everything. It's about trusting that things will unfold in their own time and that we don't need to force them to happen prematurely. Accepting that we can't control everything allows us to shift our focus from trying to change the situation to managing our reactions to it. Instead of feeling frustrated by delays, we learn to let go of our attachment to a specific outcome and trust that life will present us with the right opportunities when the time is right. Learning to accept things outside of our control is particularly important when it comes to our relationships with others. Often we feel impatient when others don't behave or respond the way we expect them to. Whether it's a colleague, a friend, or a family member, we may want things to go a certain way, but we cannot control how others think, feel, or act. Patience in relationships comes from accepting people as they are without trying to change them to meet our expectations. When we stop trying to control others, we create space for understanding, compassion, and peaceful coexistence. Another area where acceptance plays a crucial role is in dealing with time. We live in a world where instant gratification is often the norm, and we expect things to happen quickly. Whether it's receiving a response to an email, getting the results of a test, or waiting for an opportunity to materialize, we often want things now. However, many of life's greatest achievements and lessons take time. True patience is grounded in the understanding that some things simply cannot be rushed. Achieving goals, developing meaningful relationships, or growing as a person takes time, and no matter how hard we try, we cannot rush the process. Accepting the passage of time allows us to embrace patience as a way of life. Instead of feeling anxious about the future, we learn to focus on the present moment, knowing that everything will unfold when the time is right. This shift in perspective helps us move away from frustration and toward a peaceful acceptance of life's natural rhythm. When we let go of the need to rush or control time, we open ourselves to the possibility that every moment holds value, even those that seem to be standing still. Acceptance also helps us find peace during the waiting periods in our lives. Whether we're waiting for a job offer, a personal breakthrough, or a significant change, it's easy to become anxious and impatient when the results don't come as quickly as we want. Yet, during these waiting periods, there is immense value in accepting that we may not have all the answers or the immediate results we crave. Patience, the ability to trust that everything is unfolding as it should, even if it's not happening on our desired timeline. By accepting this, we free ourselves from the pressure to have everything figured out right away. Instead of viewing waiting as a passive experience, we learn to see it as a time of reflection, growth, and preparation for what is to come. There is a profound sense of freedom that comes with accepting that we can't control everything. When we stop trying to force outcomes or rush the process, we can begin to focus on what we can control: our mindset, our actions, and our responses. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to passivity. It means recognizing that we are empowered to choose how we navigate life's challenges, regardless of what is happening around us. By releasing our need for control, we embrace patience as a practice of trust, allowing us to move through life with greater ease and resilience. Acceptance is about letting go of the illusion that we can control every aspect of our lives. By embracing this truth, we cultivate a sense of peace that empowers us to move forward with patience and grace, no matter the circumstances. When we accept the things we cannot control, we release ourselves from the chains of frustration and anxiety, and we make room for personal growth, wisdom, and the beautiful unfolding of life itself. Patience is not about passive waiting, it's about trusting in the process and allowing ourselves to grow and evolve while life does its work in its own time.